Hey, we're Modern World Entertainment, and you've probably seen the thumbnail because that's what you're probably clicking on for, and you're thinking, Spider-Man for sale? What's this about? Well, this is a new rumour that's coming in, and I will tell you right now, we're going to have a look at this, but I'm calling absolute 100% BS on this rumour. And that rumour is that Sony may be seriously considering selling Spider-Man to Marvel. Yeah, so we'll have a look at the article and then we'll talk about why this is total BS. So it says, Spider-Man, arguably Marvel Comics' most iconic and recognizable character, was off limits to Marvel Studios for many years until an unprecedented deal was struck with Sony Pictures. This agreement allowed both studios to share the wall crawler within the MCU, starting with 2016's Captain America Civil War and 2017's Spider-Man Homecoming. As part of that deal, Kevin Feige and former Sony Pictures chief Amy Pascal produced the Tom Holland-led Spider-Man films for Sony Pictures, and although it worked out very well for both parties, it did keep Holland's Peter Parker from any Sony projects that aren't officially part of the MCU. We recently learned that the partnership never precluded Sony from using Spider-Man in its movies that didn't bear his name, but there was a feeling within the studio that audiences would not accept Holland's Spidey suddenly popping up in a live-action film that wasn't a part of the MCU. There are almost certainly a few aspects of the deal we haven't been made aware of, but one thing is for sure, Sony's attempt to develop a Spider-Man spin-off franchise without Spider-Man has not paid off. Although Venom trilogy was successful, Morbius and Madam Web were not, and it looks like Kraven the Hunter is also destined for box office bomb status. Despite one report claiming that Kraven will be the final Sony Spider-Man Universe movie, Deadline believes the studio is actually planning to forge ahead after a reset, which we did a video about yesterday. However, they may be considering taking a drastic measure following the most recent box office disappointment. Here it comes. According to My Time to Shine, I swear to God, this dude is Mike Zero at this stage. Sony is now seriously considering selling the Spider-Man IP back to Marvel Studios. What would this mean for the character? Basically, it would allow Marvel to include Spider-Man in any future projects and develop solo Spider-Man movies featuring any and all of the hero's foes without any involvement from Sony Pictures.
Right.
First of all, and straight up, bullshit. This rumor is total grade A bullshit. Let's break it down as to why. To start with, My Time to Shine, this dude really is all of a sudden just firing out every rumor he can think of, and none of it is landing at this stage. Hence why I'm pretty confident at this stage that this dude is Mike Zero. He's just firing everything at the wall and hoping something will stick. Sony selling Spider-Man to Marvel. Why? No, seriously, why? Why would they do that? They have no need to do that. Not just do they own Spider-Man and all of his villains, but when these movies get made, the Spider-Man movies in the MCU, it benefits Sony greatly. It would make no sense for them to sell Spider-Man and all of his villains to Marvel. Why? Because when they make those movies, Sony takes the biggest cut from it and invests next to nothing into them. That's right, Disney and Marvel, in fact, pay for almost the entire production cost. And after that and the movie releases, Marvel and Disney only receive a 25% cut of the profits. So if Sony has a character that they are lending to another studio, the other studio puts more capital into making the movies featuring that character, but you sit back and absolutely reap all the benefits. Why would you sell it? there's no need for them to sell it. The only thing that they don't have money coming in from with Spider-Man is anything the comic books make and anything outside of merchandise. So all the merchandise that gets made of Spider-Man, the toys, the games, collectibles, all that stuff, Marvel, actual Marvel that's owned by Disney, they get 100% of the profit. Sony gets nothing. What Sony owns is the movie rights. So they own the character on the big screen. Now, where this is saying the deal was that they couldn't use Tom Holland's Peter Parker in movies outside of the MCU. That is correct. The original deal anyway, that was correct. It didn't say they couldn't use Spider-Man because it's their character. It was they couldn't use Tom Holland's Spider-Man. So they could have brought back Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire or got someone brand new in. They could have done that till they were blue in the face. They just couldn't use Tom Holland. As for this new deal that's in place, we know nothing about this new deal. In fact, it's at the point we're not even sure if the new deal is even actually signed or not. They keep hinting that it is because they keep talking about Spider-Man 4, you know, they're writing the story and blah blah blah. We still actually haven't heard whether or not the deal is signed, but even if it is, there's no indication of what that deal entails of. But again, it makes 0 sense for Sony to sell their biggest IP that they own in terms of one single character to a studio who already benefits from all the merchandise. And that includes merchandise from them films they make. So Sony owns the character, but as long as it's a toy, doesn't matter. They don't get any profits from that. But the movie, they get almost the entire profit. So I'm calling 100% bullshit on this story. Why? It would be absolutely the biggest mistake Sony could ever possibly make to sell Spider-Man back to Marvel. Plus, if they were to do it, that'd be the end of the Spider-Verse, or into the Spider-Verse, whatever you want to call it, because it means they wouldn't be able to make more of them, and they were doing very well for them. So it makes no sense. So my time to shine. Hello. Quit while you're ahead, dude. Seriously, stop putting out these stupid rumors that are just ridiculous. No one's buying this one. Sony aren't going to sell Spider-Man to Marvel. It doesn't benefit them in any way, as much as it does make Marvel pay to make the movies, and then you take all the proceeds from the profits. Why would you give that up? So with that, I shall leave it there for this one. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Cheers, and I will catch you in the next one.